Hello there, Internet. What do we got in front of us here? Big box, big unboxing. Let's get back into some Age of Sigmar. And I'm crazy. You know I'm crazy. How do you know I'm crazy? Well, let's open it up and find out how crazy I am. Bum, bum, bum. That's a big box. Oh, look at that. What is it? Holy cow. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, not one, not two, but 3 Mega Gargants. I know what you're saying. And I don't care. I don't care. Because these things are sweet, and I wanted them. And truth be told, I had a bunch of money I forgot about in a PayPal account, so, that took care of about half of this. So that is where we are at. So what I'd like to do is get into these guys, and I think we'll take some time to build them. I don't know if this will be 1, 2, 3 videos and how we're going to do this, but why don't you hang out with me while we build some Mega Gargants? How's that sound? All right, I'm going to reset, and I'll see you in a little bit. We are back. We are back. Look at him. Look at this guy. This guy is something sweet. So as soon as they announced these, I kind of knew I was gonna have to do that. So I like to do some crazy conversions on them, and I also want to magnetize them, so I can definitely mix and match them. Let's get them out of this box. That's gonna be a sweet box too. This is gonna be a bits box. It's gonna be a box that holds bits. Hold them bits. Instruction manual. Let's look at the sprue we got here. So I'm certainly not the first guy to do an unboxing, but we'll take a look. I'm probably the first guy to do an unboxing with their 6-year-old. Oh, you want to say hi? Look at this little Kraken tentacle. That's a pretty cool little bit.
Where?
Right here.
Oh, cool. I want to have it.
You can't have it. It's going to go in his belt. That's way too cool not to use. All right, let's see what else we got.
I know.
All right, let's be careful with that.
Whoa.
Let's take a peek here. Some cool looking hands. So I also have, you guys probably noticed it back here, bone grinder. So we're going to convert this bone grinder up. He's sort of like based, like that's nowhere near finished, like paint job. But his arm broke off, and we might use an arm. We might just take his existing arm. Hands size-wise, I didn't like the hand that was on there. I thought it was kind of derpy. So hand size-wise, it's actually a little big compared to, I think, well, here's his other hand. What am I doing? Let's look at this hand. All right, he's a little more like in scale. All right, so pro tip, if you got one of these guys, 2 paper clips bent, and that will never come apart. All right, you want the arm? Okay, you can have the arm. Anyway, so let's build, shall we? Let's build. I'm pretty sure this is the first sprue we're going to start building from, because the legs and stuff are all the same. And then that Kraken Eater net's pretty cool. The net that they're going to have all this stuff in. So this is what's in the net.
Yeah, this is what's in the net too. It goes to connect.
It's kind of hard to tell. Like there's part of it's like a fish tail, a shark tail, or something. Not like the movie, A Shark Tale. That was a movie, right? Shark Tale. All right, and our base. Bum, bum, bum. All right. So let's get this out of the way. Put that up here. Let's get to our instructions and see what's what. So what do you guys think of these? I know when they came out, I was just like super psyched about them. I was super stoked. Give you an idea of sort of like what the paint job is that I'm going to be looking for. Kind of like looking for some sort of like dirty tan skin. We're not actually getting a really good. Adjust the light. Now it's going to be too much light. Kind of a good indication of what we're looking for.
That color. Look at the cow.
I know, it's a cow. And they put a conversion in the book of doing a cow, which is what I've done. And I did it. I need them to tell me what to do. All right, can you move that out of the way? Thanks. All right.
Punches.
All right, so let's see. Let's see what we got here. Where's my clippers? Where's my seam scraper? There's my base. All right, let's get building. All right, so number one. This looks like number one.
How do you get it off? Just flip it?
We're gonna clip it as flat as we can. So these clippers are flat on one side, and then kind of rounded on the other. And we use the flat side to get as close as we can. And we're just gonna unclip it off of all the spots that it's clipped on. And then we need number two, which is the back of the leg. That's number three. So this is number two.
How do you know?
It's got number two right there.
Look at it. Isn't that cool?
You showing the internet? All right, so let's dry fit this.
Oh yeah, that's perfect fit.
Some of this we're going to clean up now. Some of it we can clean up after. Like that part's going to be a pain to clean up later. So we're going to clean that up now. Using a little seam scraper, you can pick these up at Micromark. I know I've talked about them before, but they're just really, really sweet.
Is that it? Oh no, there's more scrape. Oh, we can find that.
Yeah, we can scrape that or cover that up later, yeah. So let's just look and see where all the glue is going to go.
That's the boo-boo you got? That it?
Oh, there's one right here. We gotta get that one too.
Where?
Right here.
How did you find it?
Well, when I tried to put it together, that's why we dry fit it. It didn't fit all the way. All right, so that's gonna go together like that. And then where's the glue gonna end? Right there, right there. Down to the bottom. Okay, here we go. Keep it in frame.
Is that where it's gonna end?
Yep, and then, oops.
Glue.
Now we're gonna get the glue a little bit to the edge because we want it to kind of push out a little bit so that when it dries and we scrape it,
it goes good.
Yeah.
It's good.
We can get rid of the seam between the two. And just checking the spots to see where all the glue needs to be.
There.
There we go. And what we're looking for is we really want something like that, because when that dries, then we'll be able to get that out of there and then there'll be no gap. Mind the gap. We don't want a gap. See that right there? We really want the glue kind of pushing out of that, and there's actually not quite enough there. So you can even just
do that.
Rub a little bit along the side.
And then it'll just melt in?
Yep. And then the inside is not going to be as obvious, so I'm not going to be quite as careful about that, but I want to make sure there's no glue on our fingers. That way we're not putting little fingerprints from melting the glue or melting the plastic with the plastic glue on our finger. But we'll just put a little bit there. Some of that might even be covered up in the next steps. I'm not 100% sure, but So we'll do that.
Foot.
That's a good.
Ooh,
That's a good indication too.
Now we need another leg and
Hold on.
And 2 feet.
Stop, hold on. So see right here, I had a little bit of glue on my finger. And it's just gonna make a little bit of a mark there. So that's just gotta be careful with glue on your fingers. Cool. All right. So I think this is gonna take a lot longer than I thought it was gonna take. I mean, I knew it was gonna take a little while, but I think it's gonna be kind of boring. So why don't we come back once this is a little bit built, when it's time to do some magnetizing and options, and we'll see how I figure that out. And I'll do that sort of live with you while I figure it out. I'll walk you through the process of me trying to figure out where I want to magnetize and how I want to go about it. So cool. All right. Hey there, Internet. Welcome back. Oh. So, I figured what I was going to do. I'm kind of glad I paused that. I kind of initially thought, like, hey, let's just go through and just build this whole thing in just like one shot. But the way I build, I'm kind of methodical. I take a lot of time. I spend a lot of time cleaning mold line, and it just wasn't going to be very exciting. And I'm also kind of in my head a lot when I'm building, trying to think about like what I'm going to do or what other different ways I can go about this. So it's kind of hard for me to really kind of talk the whole time while trying to build something. So it'll also, I think, help keep it a little bit shorter, which I kind of thought it would be fun to have like this whole long thing. But anyway, I think it'll be kind of better. And I kind of think I just want to make it sort of like a hobby vlog kind of situation. So I think I'm just going to try to document the whole journey of building these guys, converting them, the whole thing, as best we can, and just upload videos, maybe even daily, as you know, I have something to share. So I kind of wanted to show you where I got and what some of the sub-assemblies I did. And then I think, yeah, we'll just wrap it up for today. So essentially what I've done is I've built everything for the Kraken Eater. Except some of the accoutrements. So, if you look at this bro, right, we've done all like the basic steps. But then when you get in here, there's like a bunch of different specific Kraken Eater type things in the belt. I did glue the little thing on the end of the little tentacle because we're for sure going to be putting tentacles on these guys. But, you know, I didn't do the whole belly net thing. And I don't know if I want to. You know, I'm going to kind of hold off and see. I kind of like the idea of just having a big open bit of skin there. Can play around with, like, the texture and the painting of the skin. Maybe some tattoos and some damage and stuff like that. So, but anyway, we built all the Kraken Eater stuff. And in doing so, I noticed a few things. So, essentially, there's 4 different arms. There's 2 different left arms and 2 different right arms. A couple of them share left and right arms. And then a couple of them are unique. So, for example, the Kraken Eater's left arm is, the whole arm part is unique to the Kraken Eater, whereas this arm is shared by the Kraken Eater and the Great Gatebreaker. If we go to the War Stomper, whoops, get out of here. We go to the War Stomper, this arm is unique. The right arm is unique to the War Stomper, but the left arm, this arm is shared by the War Stomper and the Gatebreaker. So then the Gatebreaker, poor Gatebreaker, he shares the arms with everybody. So see, he's using the same arm here, and then this arm piece is the same as on Broseph here. So we look at the part numbers, right? 57, 59. 57, 59, and then 92, 93, same parts as the Kraken Eater. So what we're eventually going to have to do, actually, is we're going to have to, because I kind of want to be able to have them a little more dynamic than just magnetizing the hands, we're going to have a magnet in here. And then for the Kraken Eater, I don't know if I actually want to use this club hand or not. It's pretty sweet, but it's got kind of a lot going on, and I've got a couple ideas for other things I want to do in this hand. So the hand is cool. The hand may even end up replacing this guy here. Right, so this is the old bone grinder dude. But look at the size difference in the hands. And I just love the big chunky hands. So we may do some converting of this arm here. So we're going to have some extra arm bits and stuff even after magnetizing. So maybe we can convert this guy so he can be magnetized the same way, or a very similar way. So anyway, sub-assembly wise, let's look at what we've done. So one thing I noticed, it tells you to put the first part of this leg on, glue it in here, and then this leg, and then glue this back piece on. But it actually, if we look in the top, it's kind of hard for me to look into it and show you. But this goes right in, and you almost put no pressure in. Like that was like, oh, but it stays reasonably well. For like almost like no, see if we can show again how little pressure. I didn't even feel it snap in. I didn't think I had pushed it in far enough, so just proved my point. But anyway, so that snaps in really easy. So that would make this probably easier to paint, as well as can still be put in for, you know, playing as it's sort of being built. So I would recommend definitely doing this as a sub-assembly and not following the directions on this specific leg. At least the way I built it, I kind of made sure everything went snug and glued it on place. So, and then there's no real reason to have this separate. But this actually has a little bit of a lip on it, so this snaps right in pretty, as long as you get this arm up here, and that's rock solid as well. So you almost don't even have to glue it even if you wanted to paint it. Like, there's almost no seam there. You know, so putting a little bit of plastic glue in to fill that in would definitely take care of that. But that's, I'm not sure if that's really going to make a difference whether I want to leave that separate or not. But there's no necessarily reason to put it together. This will not sort of fit together just like on its own. There's nothing that really catches it. So this will, I think, need to get glued on here. But I still kind of have it as a sub-assembly while I sort of figure out everything that's going to fit around here and what we want to do. And then the same thing with the legs. This leg will kind of snap in a little bit. But like I said, just a little bit. And this one, not at all. So the legs are going to have to either get glued or get magnetized. I don't know if I'm going to go crazy enough to actually magnetize the feet, but I kind of like the different feet. So I'm just thinking, like, depending on what basing and stuff I have set up, it might be nice just to be able to pop them off. I'm not sure if it makes sense to glue. I've got kind of a technique for getting the models to the bases, but I don't know if it may make sense to also have these glued on and then be able to take this off, just because it's so much easier to paint, right, when you can get underneath and around all the different spots, and then it's also so much easier to base. So we may do that. The head part, at least for the Kraken Eater, I thought it would snap in a little bit better. It doesn't really snap in. It sits on there fine, but like, it's just gonna fall off. So you can stand it up, you can move it around, it can be fine on there, but it's just gonna fall off. So, but anyway, cool little head. We're gonna take this nose ring off. I just don't like it. It just looks derpy to me. It just looks like weird teeth in the front from a distance, right? It doesn't really give the impression of a nose ring. So, but that shark necklace is pretty cool, pretty rad. So we're getting, it's a little dark. Ooh, dramatic lighting for the Kraken Eater. And then this, so this is a bit of a sub-assembly too. So look at this. The net has some cool stuff inside of it, but if you glue the hand together and you glue, there's a spot where there's like a little bit of a gap here, and then they kind of both glue to this other side. But you can get in there to paint it, and it's relatively easy to get it on, and it kind of snaps in as well. So another sub-assembly. I don't know how much detail I really want to paint on the inside of this, but I just knew that it was going to be a pain in the B to get in there without gluing it together. Or well, like once it's glued together, like getting a brush into some of those details, you're really just going to have to like wash it and let it go. And that's honestly probably enough. I'm probably being a little OCD with it, but I'm going to kind of leave that apart for now. So that is what it is. And then the arms, same sort of thing. These are going to have to be magnetized. But this is kind of cool. I didn't notice in any of the pictures, but he's got like a helm. What do they call it? I can't believe I can't think of the name of this stupid thing. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. It's the steering wheel of a ship, but it has a name, but I can't think of it. But yeah, it's just a cool little bit. So I thought it was pretty rad. And then this little bit, this actually isn't glued in either. This just like snaps in pretty solidly. I feel like I'm going to actually break it trying to get it out. Oh, there we go. So that's not glued in. It just like really kind of like locks in to get it into place where you would glue it. Oh, there we go. But I'm thinking I might like use this for some like basing or something. So I don't know if like I'll have some like ship mast or something like holding it up. But I think I like the idea of this. It just seems like a lot of noise on the model, right? And it glues on in like a really weird, awkward spot, especially if you're going to be doing a head swap. So you got this little strap that goes in around this little strap on his back. And then this little corner touches just barely, but then where's the Kraken arm? This goes in like right here. So like it's strapped to his arm and to his back, and like it's just kind of this weird thing. So I'm not really honestly a fan of this as like draped over the model, but I think it's like super cool. Like look at this dude. Poor bro. Should we zoom in on that face? Look at bro. No, the camera's gonna shake. We've ruined it. We've ruined the internet. Sorry about the shake. But yeah, just a cool bro. Cool fish. Look at that radfish. Cool little bit. So anyway, that's sort of where we are, where we've kind of finished today. So the plan is to, essentially from the one kit, I'm going to build pretty much all the different bits from all the dudes. And then we're going to kind of look at where we want to magnetize, where we want to hack it up. And then once we've done that, we can kind of shortcut through the other builds, right? I'm not going to necessarily have to build all the arms and all the feet again. I've already got some of that work done. So the first one's certainly going to take the most time. And then, again, some of the conversions and stuff, I've got a really cool idea I think I want to do for the hand on this, and when we get there. Oh, what I wanted to show you, so because I had mentioned it in the earlier video, if you're not doing this, definitely should, like some of the plastic glue seams. So once it dries, it takes a little bit of time to like fully dry, but once you get the glue kind of puckered up there, right, you get this little bead, and then, you know, it's a little softer than the rest, but it just scrapes off still really easy. And then it will kind of, even if you miss some of it, it will kind of fill in the gap, right? So you can just kind of clean that up. So you have no gaps, right? We don't want gaps in our models. We want them to look like they're one piece. I've explained this to Oliver, who's not here. We're much later in the day. He has gone to bed. It's 10 o'clock now, where it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon earlier. So, but, and then you hit that with paint, and it's going to be much harder to tell. So if we look at, you know, like this guy, for example, you know, the gap that's on the side of these guys, right, that runs right there. Right, it's almost non-existent. You can kind of see some of the sprue mark and stuff there. That's probably going to be a spot. You know, you use that as a spot for like where he gets hit with an arrow. So you put an arrow in there, right? And you look at the same side. Like these were, I'd say, rushed a little bit, but focus. Right, so you can see the seam a little bit, but I'm really highlighting it with a light in this camera. Like when he's down here like this, right? It's really not too obvious compared to the gap that you can easily have on these guys. So look at that face. I think the light earlier was awfully really bright with the sun coming in, so you really couldn't get the subtleties of the skin tone that I had going on here. And this light's really bright too. It's kind of washing some of it out. The highlights are pretty high, but you get the idea. Anyway, oh, so this is the trick. So if you take we're just keep getting sidetracked, so I hope you stick with me. A 1/8 bit. I think it's a 1/8 that I use. Oh no, it's 5. It looks like it's 5/32 I've written here. So one of the things that I really hate doing is not having things playable easily, because I like to play while I'm building. Oh yeah, so what I've actually done, I've used either the 5/32 for some magnets that I have, or the 1/8, and then I will use this to sort of like go in there and grind it out till it gets to just the right size. And the size that I'm looking for is literally just some sprue that's glued to their feet, so that I can then take them off the base, but then I can also base around them, right? So they just fit in there, and they're relatively snug, right? Because I didn't push it out with this too much. I got it to just the right size where that plastic kind of fits in there, kind of snug. And then he's on the base, he stays in there, he's locked in there. I can take him off to paint, I can take him off to do the basing, and then I can put it in and even just leave it like that. I don't have to really secure it more than that, just making sure that the basing is around his feet and kind of covers that up. We're good to go, although I'm sure I'll eventually like actually glue that in. But so that's what we're gonna do with these feet as well. So look at these feet. I really dig these sandals. I'm a barefoot enthusiast, right? So obviously I like the barefoot guys, but like this kind of like Hawacha like style sandal. Look at this. See that big old seam that would have been there, like. See that? And it's just gone. It's just gone. We just got one piece. Word to your mother. All right, internet. So yeah, we'll keep this trainer rolling as we do and build more. I'll show you more. I'm planning on opening the book up a little bit as well while we go through some of this and some of the spots and just kind of giving my review of the tome. I got some things I definitely want to say. I'm neither optimistic nor pessimistic about this book. I kind of think I'm in the middle of some of the camps. People trying to defend this book, saying it's going to be it's actually okay, learn to play, get good, versus the other one's like it's all doom and gloom, the book's the worst book that's ever written. I don't think it's necessarily either one of those. I think it's just it's going to be different. People are going to have to adapt to it, and I think it's going to play very different. It'll catch people out, and then you just need to, learn the rules and play the army and figure out how it works for you. So if it matches your playstyle. Anyway, internet, that'll do it for now, and then until next time, kisses.